Okay, so the expiry is playing out in individual stocks for sure. Look at Crompton Greaves' intraday chart. This is telling. I mean, it's lost about 11% intraday chart of Crompton Greaves. As you can see, it's down 8%, but it's lost about 11% in a matter of 10 or 15 seconds. And not just that, Federal Bank pulled that also out now, and a couple of more names like Axis Bank as well now falling, and the Nifty is back below that 7,000 mark. Siddharth Bhamre is also with us from Angel Broking. Siddharth, good afternoon. So what's the expiry looking like? Could we have that 3 p.m. move maybe below 69.50, or should this be somewhere around 7,000, 7,020 thereabouts?
Good afternoon, Anuj. A couple of days back we were anticipating that probably market would stabilize at 7,200 and expiry would happen over there, but that didn't materialize. So if I just analyze last two trading sessions, what data has panned out, I feel that your expiry should not be substantially below 7,000 odd levels. And why I'm saying so, we have seen substantial call writing happening in 7050 call option, 7100 call option, and there is if you look at yesterday's data, there has been unwinding in 7100 and 7200 put option despite market being lower than those strike prices, which suggests that the long put buyers, which were generally stronger hands, have squared off their long put positions yesterday itself. So today they are not expecting big downside in market below 7,000, and 7,000 put also has seen good amount of writing yesterday. That's the reason you are seeing that there is a gross figure is quite high in index option segment, but the change in open interest is not so huge, and net figure is also not so huge. So I feel we should not move substantially below 7,000 levels. And the other segment, I must say the other thing which you mentioned, that it can close somewhere around 7,000, 7,020, that would be more likely scenario today rather than going below 6,950 odd levels.
Okay, well, there are some more stocks that are completely cracking now. Kaveri Seeds, Sadbhav Engineering, Voltas, all of these stocks have actually moved to the lowest point. And just in the last 10-15 minutes, names like Voltas have slipped quite a bit. Emphasis as well is down almost about 4%. So yes, you are seeing, in some of them, you're seeing the F&O expiry move, and well, in the others, there's just about a sell-off. But Siddharth, afternoon, this month or in this series, you've seen a lot of pressure come into the banks, both PSU and private. So names like PNB, ICICI Bank have all fallen about 20% in this series. Is there more shorting activity or pressure that you expect in this series to come?
Good afternoon, Sonia. Index per se, if you look at Bank Nifty, this index has added a huge amount of short positions. Though Nifty rollovers are in line with averages, Bank Nifty rollovers is also high, which clearly suggests that there's more of short positions which are getting rolled over. Now that can only happen if people are expecting PSU as well as private sector banks to continue to fall down. But that is data. How you want to trade on that data depends. So if you have something good coming out in budget, it is quite possible that where there are huge short positions, there only people will start covering them. So if in fact, if I personally feel that if Bank Nifty closes around 14,000 odd levels anytime in first week of March series, I think that would be a very strong reason for some of these shorts to cover their short positions, which may take a pullback. And why I'm rather than getting carried away by the data that it is short position so it would go down, FIs have formed a lot of long index futures positions and they have rolled over also. So I am not very negative on market from current levels. I am not expecting huge downside to come. It is quite possible we may bounce back to 7,200, 300 odd levels in first week of March series. So I would suggest, though Bank Nifty has a lot of short positions, watch out for short covering in case if there is some positives coming in budget.
Okay, let's pull out some more names. Exide, intraday chart again for Exide. All these are F&O names that I'm going to talk about right now. Federal Bank we spoke about, so these are a couple of names. By the way, it's playing out on both sides. There's Reliance Infra as well, where we have actually seen a move on the upside. If you see the intraday chart of Reliance Infra, BHEL, we have seen a bit of a move on the upside for that stock. HDFC has clearly been one of the big stocks to watch out for. Before I ask some more questions to Siddharth on expiry, Ms. Tulsian, a word on Crompton and the way it's collapsed in today's trade.
See, Anuj, if you see the volume, when the bad results came, I think on 2nd or 3rd February, you have seen the cash volume. I don't have the delivery percentage. It was about 6 crore shares. And if you see the volume now on BSE, NSE put together, it has already crossed 5 crore shares. Now, see, today they have fixed the demerger date. Now see the confusion, between the valuations, Consumer Electric, Crompton Greaves Consumer Electric, some of the investment bankers, or, they have attributed a value of 117 rupees. That means, do you want to say that the residual business of the power system and all that will fetch you or will give you a valuation of 15 rupees or 13 rupees? I think this is bizarre, so let's try to ascertain, because we won't be knowing the delivery percentage till we close the market and maybe couple of hours after that. So what I can attribute that the long position is getting created in March series while the shares are getting sold now as a delivery, because people have been trying to make the capital most efficient. They think that why should I keep the delivery, hold my delivery, let me sell the shares and create the long positions in the future adoptions, because that will get adjusted on the 16th March also, so you will be having the less amount of what you call margin blockage also, because again it will go X restructuring maybe on 13th or 14th March. So this could only be the reason. Otherwise I don't find any reason for this fundamental weakness or seeing such a massive slide in the stock in this last half an hour.
Okay, Parag, you have a call on from Crompton at your house?
Yeah, so we cover this stock. So see, the consumer part of the business is valued at around 96 rupees per share according to us, and it is run by a very efficient management. Of course, there will be some, because now there has been a management change, so there might be some hits here or there, but that is 96 rupees. So remaining part of the business is actually a difficult thing to value, because outside India there is losses, there are losses, and within India also that business is not doing that well. But I think so unless some negative news has come, I would agree with Mr. Tulsian that fundamentally it should not fall much from here. But right now markets are very volatile. You cannot exactly predict the bottom.
Oh yes, for sure. I mean, look at some of these banks now. The intraday falls have gotten incrementally worse. So PNB, if you look at the intraday chart, it's now down to the lowest point, and a big gash has come just in the last 10 minutes. Maybe fresh shorting pressure there. You've also seen an intraday move on Axis Bank, so that stock as well is at the lowest point, and even Yes Bank. So just in the last 10 minutes, there's a fresh ramming of some of these banking names. Bank of Baroda as well, down about 1.5%. But Siddharth, you were talking about the shorting activity in the banking space. Where else do you see more shorting opportunities open up in the new series?
No, what I was trying to say is that shorts are already there in system and banking space, and if there's some positives which come up, though very unlikely, you may see short covering, or the price action can lead to some sort of short covering, and which I mentioned that 14,000 closing in Bank Nifty, say anytime first week of March. The other places where there are a lot of shorts which are there and getting rolled over is metal space. There are a lot of short positions. Here also I feel that stocks like Hindalco and Tata Steel are showing signs of that the lows have been formed, and stocks may not go significantly down from the recent lows they have made. So I wouldn't initiate any short positions as of now in this market.
Okay, so the market is now back to the low point. 6974 is what we have right now. Watch out for that 3 p.m. factor, because as of now this could get a bit out of hand. Right now, if you look at the options data, and we'll try to pull some of that out, pull out 7,000 put. The combined premium of 7,000 put and call just a while back was 25 rupees, and now 7,000 put alone is at 35 rupees. So this is where you've seen, even today you've seen from the low point from 12 rupees a rally of 200% to 36 rupees. This is the option game which is going on, Sonia, and this is really the big problem for the market on expiry day, because there's so much momentum on the way down, and bears right now are in complete command of this market. They'll wait for 20-25 point bounce, and they would come hammer and tong and sell this market, and that could be happening right now. In fact, let's get both our technical experts as well on what they make of this move. Sudarshan, 6977, we could have a new closing low today. Would that confirm that the breakdown is intact and we could be seeking much lower levels from here on?
Not really confirm, in the sense that there is a downtrend, and all it would say is that there is a downtrend which is persisting. That's all. I'm saying this because after 3 days of declines, it is possible that we could see a relief rally. So a confirmation would imply that there would be no upswing at all, and that's not the way it works. So the downtrend is intact and we should be short.
Okay, so the downtrend is intact and we should be short. Some of these charts, the intraday charts of Lupin, should also come up for you. Just in the last 5-10 minutes, there's been a gash that we've seen in Lupin. So yes, things are getting incrementally worse in the last 10-15 minutes for sure. And this is disconcerting, Anuj, because budget or no budget, this market is still going through a downtrend and global cues are weak, as we saw what happened with China today. So there doesn't seem to be any relief in sight. As we know, the government's hands are tied in the budget as well. So just in the near term, I mean, the budget is just a trigger on Monday. Post that, the fear is, what if that roadblock is out of the way and then fresh shorting emerges in the market?
In bull markets, you don't need reasons for markets to rally. In bear markets, you don't need reasons for markets to fall. And that is what's happening right now. You're talking about global cues. Let's pull out European markets. There's absolutely no incremental weakness from Europe. In fact, as we speak, my sense is that European markets, they opened high and they have maintained their gains. In fact, let's pull out some of the European markets. Look at that, Sonia. FTSE is up 2%. CAC is up 1.7%. Yes, Asia was weak in the morning. China was weak. Let's put it that way. So there was first bit of weakness because of that. But right now, Europe is up 2%. And you saw that on Monday as well, when Europe was up 2%, Dow futures were up 200%, our market was still falling. You've reached a stage where it doesn't matter whether Dow gives you a triple-digit rally, our markets are having gap downs. So
that should worry you some more, right? I mean, the fact that we are decoupling and we're falling under our own weight.
That should worry you if you're a bull. If you're a bear, you're happy about this market. Both bulls and bears play in this market, Sonia. Let's not forget that. And at this point in time, this is a crunching bear market playing out. And look at the Nifty now, 69.71 is what we have right now. So breaking down. Ashwini, how to approach this market from here on? Should you still buy the March puts, sell March futures, or wait for a rally tomorrow and then maybe short this market?
Well, finally we are decoupling after waiting for it since 2008. But clearly, there is pressure on the market. It's not able to recover after falling greatly or even during the expiry. So, PSU banks are still falling. I thought, maybe PSU banks will go through some sort of pullback rally. But I think clearly you should have, March puts. We bought 7,300 March puts, which are way into the money. So just hang on to your March puts, maybe now 6,900. And chances are, the way the momentum is going, the budget will only push it down. It will be very difficult even for the budget to reverse the trend. So basically, somebody is unloading. There was an overweight position and now it's becoming underweight. It doesn't matter global cues, fundamentals, it's just a momentum, and each time they see a 20-30 point tick, they sell, and that's the worrying bit, because they are not even willing to have higher prices to sell. They want to just sell and get out at any price.
Okay, yes, somebody seems to be unloading for sure, the way the market is moving. But Mr. Tulsian, I wanted your view on some of these economy sensitive plays, the cement names, the infrastructure names. In any case, these stocks are in a downtrend. Do you see incremental pressure post the budget purely because the government does not have too much arsenal to sort of spur the capex cycle?
See, Sonia, firstly, one has to wait for the budgets to come out. What kind of tinkering they do with the duty structure and all sort of things, number one. Number two, I don't think that government has to really, that this is what I have been holding my view, that government should allocate any funds, because budget doesn't have that kind of depth. You have 15-16 lakh crore. For that, 5 lakh crore or 4.5 lakh crore goes for interest. So it's a very set budget items. You cannot expire or take out more than 1.5 lakh crore for investment growth, and that can't be the amount, really, believe me. You just can't. So what government can only do, allow the incentives, and that is what I've been saying, that on one hand, when you have the corporate reduction plan along with a rider that all the benefits will go away, I don't think that can really spur the industrial growth, because market has been talking of, or government has been talking of increasing the manufacturing share from 16% in GDP to maybe about 20, 22, 23, 24. That cannot come with these two riders, that you will reduce the corporate tax to 25% by taking away all the benefits. That can never happen, and I don't think that that's a rational and sane, sensible move. So this has to be looked into. But if you just ask me that, okay, shut your eyes on the budget and then give a call on cement sector, I am positive. Because take the case of dedicated freight corridor. Railway Minister has said that by 2019, two dedicated freight corridors will be operational. He has launched 3 more, which are quite long, maybe from Delhi to Chennai, from Kharagpur to Mumbai, from Kharagpur to Vijayawada. He has already opened 3 corridors, again. So all those things are going to get implemented. The contracting, the award of the contracts are seen to be quite positive. The tendering timing has been reduced maybe to 6 to 8 months and all sort of thing. So yes, I am positive on cement, and as I said, that if you have a good monsoon, rural demand will pick up. That will spur see the consumption growing for the cement as well.
Okay, by the way, pull out 2 more stocks now, HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. We were talking about HDFC Bank holding in the green till about 3 p.m. and now the 3 p.m. factor is playing out. Look at that intraday chart on HDFC Bank. When was the last time you had seen a stock like HDFC Bank have that kind of intraday fall? This is really, something else. This reflects more of a mid-cap stock than HDFC Bank. Pull out ICICI Bank as well. These are pure random expiry moves which are taking place right now. So ICICI Bank as well, intraday chart, low point of the day. Larsen & Toubro is trading at low point of the day. Coal India, which was holding out, look at the intraday decline in Coal India, and that stock is now playing out. Never take market calls on expiry day. The 3 p.m. factor could really take you out. This is what I was referring to when the show started. See where the Nifty is by 250, 255, and the 3 p.m. move could be really big. And I'm not surprised that it's played out. And now there's a real risk of this market making a new closing low on a 52-week basis. The 6869 level was intraday low. The closing low was 6976.
Oh yes, 6976, and we've already breached that on the downside, so there could be a closing low as you said. But I guess even if there was no expiry today, the market has been on a downtrend, so this secular move that we're seeing on the downtrend, that continues. Yeah,
it's just that the expiry exacerbate that move, because you have momentum, Sonia. As I pointed out, a lot of this game is options driven. Look at the just pull out the turnover picture. It would tell you a lot of the story. Cash market turnover 13,000 crore, F&O turnover 5.4 lakh crore. Out of this 5.4 lakh crores, 80% of the turnover is being generated by Nifty options or index options. This is where the game is right now. Let's pull out 7,000 put, for example, and that's where you're seeing quite a bit of activity right now. Mr. Tulsian, this expiry would have really would have been really big for the bears, but this would have played a part in today's decline.
I think the expiry has only played the part in today's whatever volatility or weakness or whatever you may call it. Because if you see, Anuj, I don't think, if you take the longer scenario, I'm not talking of the bulls and bears. If you see tomorrow, generally, because with the beating down of the market and all that, or maybe slight support, tomorrow we may see some relief and some positive in the market. I don't think that secondly, ahead of the budget, you can really sit on the short positions at an index level of 7,000. That will again not be a sensible move. I don't know maybe how brave he may be. People make money not to lose in the next trade, whether he is a bull or he is a bear. So even if the bears have made huge money, I don't think that they will be having that courage to sit on the positional shorts, ahead of the budget. At least whatever my experience goes, at least I won't advise doing that, number one. Number two. Number three, if you see now, I have been in fact said yesterday also, the rollover data are very important. I don't think that it's very difficult, whatever we may call it, that shorts have been rolled over or longs have been rolled over. That is, sometimes illogical, because every short has a long. So let's understand, what we are trying to say, that longs have been rolled over. That means someone has taken the short position also against that. So my point is that yes, this weakness or this volatility is purely to do with the expiry. You have given an example of the European market. They have all been lending support. Yes. China is a different case altogether. China, you just cannot, because when China opened after that Lunar New Year, they had the the gap up weakness, which did not get reflected on the first day of opening last week. So that can come abruptly at any point of time. So if you see, the global markets are supporting, and in spite of that, if we are showing the volatility or weakness, the market held on till 3 o'clock, or maybe Maybe it was not very weak and all sort of things, in spite of not so positive bias seen building up on the railway budget. So this has to do totally with expiry as a.
Oh yes, so let's do one thing. We'll take a break, but for now it looks like the market has put a bit of a floor right now. It's 310 right now. You have the volume weighted average price which is taken into account when you have the settlement at 330, so you could still have a long 20 minutes. Yes, Sonia?
I just want to point out, Anuj, you know, there's a big crash that you're seeing in the railway stocks now. So Titagarh and Texrail are down 10%, and all of this just in the last 10-15 minutes. Titagarh, Texrail, a couple of the others as well. So it just goes to show that, you know, whatever trades you had, everything is getting unwound post the rail budget.
I think this has been the easiest trade in the last 5 years. On every rail budget, you actually sell railway stocks. By the end of the day, you can cover and make a lot of money. It's been,
in fact, before the budget also they were selling in the railway stocks, so you would have made money through it.
This has been playing out for many years now. Post the railway budget, you see this big decline. Let's do one thing. We'll take a break. As of now, the Nifty is holding out somewhere around 69.70. Our closing bell money control question of the day is: are you happy with the railway budget? Log on to moneycontrol.com and post your responses, and we'll share some of the best ones post 3:30.